All right, it's Travis with BorderCityWrestling.com, and BCW is back for a trifecta of shows. It's the March Breakdown. 3 big shows coming up, including Friday, March 27th in Niagara Falls, Saturday, March 28th in Windsor, Ontario at Assumption High School, and of course the third show, Sunday, March 29th, live in Woodstock. And there's a few big battles, including we're dusting off the BCW title belt. And an 8-man battle for that match includes one of the guys I have on the phone with me right now, textbook Tyson Dux. Tyson, what's going on, man?
Travis, how you doing, boss?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I am not doing too shabby.
So let's talk about some of these shows going down on the big March Breakdown Tour. We got you in Niagara Falls on the 27th. You and Big Joe Doring teaming up against former WWE superstars, the Highlanders. Your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are like this. Niagara Falls has seen plenty of action. They have seen tons and tons of tourist attractions, but they have never seen an attraction such as Border City Wrestling. Border City Wrestling is one of the premier wrestling organizations in the world today.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the greatest talent.
Absolutely.
They're bringing in from ex-WWE superstars tag team of the Highlanders in the main event versus yours truly, Tyson Dux, and one big, bad Joe Doring. And let me tell you, if they think they're going to come in there and punch and bite and scream and stomp and put a mud hole through us, they got a problem. Because I got the big guy, I have the technique, no problems. We're going to take them out.
Make them sorry they ever left the WWE.
They should go back.
All right, let's talk about this big show coming up right here in your hometown, Windsor, Ontario. A chance for the BCW Championship. And a few of the guys at the big 8-man match include Phil Atlas, CK3, one of your mentors there, Scott D'Amore, Johnny Devine, Joe Doring, and a few other surprises. You think you got a chance of walking away with that belt?
Have you ever seen a lineup so big and so massive in a main event? Have you ever seen so many names that could actually take a title? Now, when it comes to Border City Wrestling, I have been a member of the team for 10-plus years.
Mm-hmm.
This should be more of a trophy celebration of giving me the title and presenting it to me as a gesture of goodwill. I'm the man that is the name of Border City Wrestling. I'm the guy that carries the main event all the time. But instead of just giving me the title that I deserve, they've decided to put 7 other superstars in there with me. Now, these guys are the top of the line. Phil Atlas is no slouch.
I talked to Phil last night, and he says you're an underdog in this match.
I'm the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, I am not the underdog. The only way I could be the underdog is the fact that I'm the most talented professional wrestler in that ring, and the only way that they're going to take me out is if they all gang up against me. That is the only way. That title belongs to me. It should be given to me. Now I'm going to make 7 other guys pay.
Well, let's talk about the next show. It's actually going to be a triple threat with you, Extremo, and Derek Wilde. Now, tell me this. If you walk away the night before with that title, are you going to put it on the line in this match?
I'd have to say yes. I will be a fighting champion. I am well respected in this community, as well as other communities such as Woodstock, and I have no problem with the idea of putting this title on the line at any given cost, in any type situation, in any type of match. I have a long, long outstanding history with Derek Wilde. We have put on some of the greatest matches you will ever see in Ontario today.
Mm-hmm.
A fresh new upstart in Extremo. I've wrestled with Extremo a ton of times. And the kid has shown improvement every time he's been in that ring. But it just comes down to tenacity. Who wants it more? Who deserves it more? I have the pride and the will to keep the title. If I win that title in Windsor, which I'm going to, I will defend it, and I will beat the 2 of those guys, no problem. I will go down in Border City Wrestling history as one of the greatest talents that has ever come out of that dungeon.
You're also one of the biggest names to come out of Can-Am. You've been with WWE, done a few matches with them. You've been part of Team Canada out in TNA, doing a little work also with 0-1, and you did a little bit of action out in Hollywood, too, with the Kenny versus Spenny show, the Who Will Be a Better Pro Wrestling, Better Pro Wrestler.
Right.
Now, it looked like you didn't go too easy on these guys, or at least one of them there, because the other one kind of ducked you a lot, but tell us a little bit about that experience.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. That is one of the greatest experiences I've had to date, is working on Kenny versus Spenny. Because when it comes down to it, they're both weaselly little dudes. So it's more fun to get paid to beat up nerds all day long. And if you could see by the end of that match how bloody and how busted up he was, how fantastic is that? To be able to get paid to beat up skinny little kids. I will tell you, to have it broadcasted on cable television, seen nationally, is a phenomenon. It's a one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. I'm sure that everybody at home is green with jealousy and envy. I'd have to say one of the highlights of my career so far is beating up one skinny Spenny. You know, I'm all about nerd slapping. I'm all about, like, girl touching. You know, it doesn't matter. You just give me the role. I'll do it. Don't be no Brokeback Mountain, thank you very much, if that was your next question. But I will do superhero movies, because I am a superhero.
Now, speaking of Hollywood, big movie just recently came out with Mickey Rourke called The Wrestler. I'm sure you've probably seen that.
Well, you know what? Watching that movie, I could pick out a lot of realism. I could see that they really did their homework. In that movie, you see Mickey Rourke playing this washed-up wrestler that doesn't know enough to quit. And in this business, you get a lot of that. You get a lot of people, whether it be age or whether it be injury or whether it just be the dream has died, they won't give up. They keep it up. They keep going. Now, see, the problem is we have this at Border City Wrestling. You got to be one of the top elite guys to do anything in this business, and I consider myself one of those. Now, speaking of past glory and injuries that have caused him to retire, Scott D'Amore thinks he is going to run this gauntlet. He's going to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Phil Atlas, with the likes of Joe Doring, with the likes of me in that ring. Scott D'Amore, you should stay retired. You're a great coach. You're a fantastic trainer. You're an excellent promoter. But the wrestling days are done. What has he got to offer? A bad shoulder, a bad neck, and a whole lot of pins and screws and knees and wrists? Please. I've said my piece. The people know where I stand. Come out and watch. You'll see what real talent is. Come watch Border City Wrestling, because there is no other show like it.
Some interesting comments there from Tyson Dux about his former mentor, Scott D'Amore. It'd be interesting to see how Scott reacts in that big 8-man battle for the vacant BCW championship match. You can catch that in Windsor, Ontario, the second show in the big March trifecta, March breakdown tour for Border City Wrestling. Once again, that's going to be on the 27th in Niagara Falls, where you could see Tyson Dux and Joe Doring take on former WWE superstars, the Highlanders. And on the 28th in Windsor, Ontario, the big 8-man gauntlet match for the BCW championship, and that's going to feature superstars such as Tyson Dux, Phil Atlas, Scott D'Amore, CK3, Johnny Devine, Big Joe Doring, and a few other surprises in that one as well. And don't forget the big show on the 29th in Woodstock, where you'll see Tyson Dux take on Extremo and Derek Wilde. Tickets are available for all three shows on BorderCityWrestling.com, or if you want to get them by phone, you can call 519-971-8019. It's the March Breakdown Tour, Border City Wrestling. Check it out.